Well, it's the 28th of August today. It's the 28th of July today, 2016. And I'm nearly finished with this. I thought I'd give you an update. What I've got to do is put this panel on, these panels here on this basic corner of the greenhouse. Well, I can feel that warm air coming out of there. But anyway, I've got to put something up here, if you can see that, and then this paneling, and it's done. I mean, it's closed in. And then when I get that done, I'll have to stop for a while because I've got other things I've got to get done. But anyway, if you think about it, I think the 27th of, I don't remember exactly what day I started, but I think that was April, I think 27th or thereabouts is when I started on this, tearing down the other one. So you think April, April, May, June, well, that was May, June, and July actually. So it's 3 months. It took me 3 months to do this, and so we'll get going to it. And when I get it all torn, when I get this put down, you might see. Well, by the way, you might notice that this looks a little different. This little walkway I had, with that right up there is a little remnant of the old one. I had to tear it up a little bit because two things. If you see this is how low it used to be. And, you always bumped your head when you went in there. And also, it's in the way of trying to put this stuff on the roof, so I had to tear it off a little bit to be able to work here. So anyway, that's going to be replaced too, but that can wait. But right now, everything seems to be running, so I'm going to get to work. And the first thing I got to do is measure the piece I've got to cut. So this first piece has got to be, let's see, 38 and 45 inches. I'll get busy on that. Good morning, everybody. Hey, in a previous episode, I mentioned about tearing all of this down because if you remember seeing it, it was about this low and you could easily bump your head on it. And I did several times, and then I mentioned how I had to get rid of some of it because it was in the way of the construction anyway. But anyway, I've got it all rebuilt, and I thought maybe I'd show you a little bit about what I did. So let me run through that. It's not really that complicated, but it might be interesting to see it. So let me grab the camera here, and I'll show you what I did. First of all, let me give you, you can see here, the top of that is just, that red metal roofing stuff, and you can see I've got it right up to almost to the edge of the building, and that's about all you need. Now what I did, let's go on this side. So this is what I did basically. You can see the way I did it was I put a board across here. As you can see right here though, see this is the top of the original one, and all I did was I patched over that, left those 4x4s in place, put that up. And you can see I just strung some 2x4s across the top of those beams on that side and on that side. And then I reused a lot of the wood to make the trusses. And the way I made them is really quite simple. I built them in place actually, and let me show you here. Here's a good example. See, I put the 2x4 up, and then I take the old trusses. You can see right here, that's where it was attached before. Then I just kind of spread them out, spread-eagled them out a little bit. You can see on the top, see there's a gap up there. I spread them out a little bit so they're a little flatter. Then I reattached them on the ends, one here and one there. I did that all the way across down here. And I went out here to the end, and you can see it overlaps the chicken coop. Now the reason I need this is because, that's the basement door coming out of the house. And in the wintertime, we get some snow here, and rain, and all kinds of things here. And so, let me show you this. You can see if I want to go to the chicken coop, and next year that's going to be a greenhouse, or the greenhouse, if you don't have some kind of cover here, it can be nasty and cold and windy and, terrible. And so that's what I need this for. The other thing I need it for is utilities. You see this line right here, that's the electric, and this line right here is the water. These two waters, there's a return and a supply. And as you can see, the little this faucet up here, that goes to this greenhouse, and then that little black line is for the cooler. But anyway, so this thing is both shelter and a place to run the utilities. So I just thought you might like to see it. Let's go from this end here, and there it is. Nice little shelter. Let me show it from the top here. Okay, here's the top view of this thing from my sun deck. And as you can see, well, I've thrown some stuff for the chickens there. Got to get rid of that. But as you can see, it's a nice little deck and nice little walkway. And I think it turned out pretty good. And here's one more vantage point from way over here. As you can see, there's the greenhouse, and then there's that walkway. So it worked out pretty good. Well, it is the 31st of July today, 2016, and I can say right now that I am done with the basic building. So it took me from tearing this thing down, which I started on the 27th of April. It took me basically May, June, and all of July. So it took me a few days more than 3 months to do this. And that includes tearing down the old greenhouse. And I was working all by myself. So, you know, if you want to start a project, or you are looking at something that you need to do, and you think, oh, that's too big, I don't think I can do that, that's too much work. You can really do anything if you just keep at it. I've only been working on this 2-3 hours a day, maybe at the most. Some days on Saturdays and things I had a little more time, but most of the time it was just a couple hours or 3 hours a day, because you know you get worn out if you do any more than that. But you can do this, and here it is. And right now I'm going to do a lot more work in here, but right now I've got other things I must take care of. I've planted a few things in here. I've got the watering system in, so it's a bare bones greenhouse, but it's here. Now let me show you what I've done here. It measures a 24, roughly 24 by 40. So this wall along here is the 40 wall, and this wall along here is the 24 wall. So, you know, it's pretty good size greenhouse for just somebody's greenhouse. And as you can see, I've got a tomato plant there growing pretty well, and I've got some corn growing pretty well. I just scattered some seeds over here when I was starting to build, and then I've got a patch of asparagus over here, and that was already here. And look at my grapes. Let's see, you might be getting some noise from that blower, but look at the grapes. Those grapes are doing well. They've recovered. And that one down there is even recovering, but this one down here I think is a lost cause. But anyway, I saw some potatoes growing here that were volunteers. There's some with the other end. And I've got a weed patch and some other things. And there's my homemade rototiller. So there it is. 3 months, tearing down the old one included. And yeah, just to look at the roof and everything. This is well done, and it's hot in here. It's 105 degrees in here right now. And like I say, outside it's about 95 degrees outside. So, you know, that's not bad. I do need another swamp cooler, because that one's not big enough to handle it. But for this year, it'll be okay. I'm going to put another one probably right next to it right there, but not now. Well, anyway, that's the end of the series for rebuilding my greenhouse, at least for now, just the basic structure. I am going to be, like I say, finishing up the insides and putting aquaponics and hydroponics, and also just straight growing in the dirt here. Some things just grow better in the dirt. And so I'm going to be putting all those things in, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that, and I'll show you how to do it. And like I say, some things go really well in the hydroponics, aquaponics, and some do better in dirt. But anyway, so we'll show you those in future episodes, but for now, I gotta take a break because I have other pressing projects that I've got to get to, so I'm probably not gonna do much in here for about a month, except for planning some things. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something about doing things. You can do it if you want to, and if you try. And you can try, and you might do it wrong, but in doing it wrong, you'll learn how to do it right. And just try again. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this.